This episode is presented by BetterHelp, Quench Hydration, DraftKings, and Flow Hockey. The eShow podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Do you have something new that you would like to learn or a new skill that you're looking to develop? Therapy can help you reconnect with that sense of wonder. Whether or not you've tried it before, it can help everyone despite what you may or may not have going on in your respective life at the moment. If you're thinking of therapy, give BetterHelp a try and rediscover your sense of curiosity. Visit betterhelp.com/THPN for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/THPN for 10% off your first month. The answer is take the winning road.
I get hung up on certain things.
I have OCD, Jake.
Hi guys, my name's Jeff. I'm an equal opportunity lover, you guys know that.
But wouldn't the dog want to stay on the meat wagon?
He's saying he can convince the dog to hop off.
That's insane!
Yeah, I'm intelligent.
That's such a Jeff answer right there.
He's handsome, curly-haired, and Jewish, sitting right here.
Jeff, you are a golden retriever.
Hey Jake, that's what you kids call that drip, right?
It was good despite the gastric consequences, but call me the crystal ball here, man. I'm getting everything right except my own picks. That's really, to me, a battle of two of the coaches with the best hair.
Welcome to the E Show, presented by the Hockey Podcast Network. Founded in 2013, the EHL is your next step on the path to college. Over the past decade, the EHL has established itself as the college placement leader on the East Coast. And now, here's your host, the commissioner of the Eastern Hockey League, Neil Ravin.
Thanks, Jim. Well, with that, let's bring in Jeff and, as signed on his email to me yesterday, our Director of Intelligence, Jake.
New title.
Dude, when I saw that in the email signature, I was like, that's awesome. I got to use that one. What title do you want, Jeff?
Oh,
Director of Handsome. Director
of Handsome.
Director of Positivity.
Extraordinaire, as you called me last week. I don't know.
Yes. Yes. All the above. Hey, Jake, I'll ask the question that you asked Owen House. What am I wearing?
TB12 hat, Eli Manning's son. So I know you're wearing an EHL All-Star jersey.
Yes, I am. This is our final episode before the 2024 EHL All-Star College Series gets underway. We haven't in the past ever had a podcast in the middle of it. It's just too busy. So we won't have a podcast next week, but there's plenty of action next week with all of our college series games. So let's waste no more time, guys, and announce the rosters right now.
Let's take a look at what's going on around the E Show.
So special in this week's Around the E Show segment, we're going to announce the rosters for the college series, which for the second straight year, we are playing 6 total games. This is kind of, as you guys know, has grown as the years have gone on. The first season we played a single game. The second year we played 2 games. Then it was 3 games. Then it was 2 games plus the South team. And now it's just, as you guys know, every year the number of schools that reach out and want to be a part of this grows each and every season. So for the second straight year,
what it's called, good expansion. That's what this is called.
It's great expansion. Great expansion. So why don't we go I know I just messed this up in a previous episode talking about prequels and whatnot, right? But maybe we go in reverse order and start with the main all-star team. Or you want to go in the right order? the chronological order, I guess you could say.
You're a chronological guy. I don't know.
Right, so you know what? I'm going to go in that order then, Jake.
Let's not trigger you here. We want this to be a safe place for the commish.
Let's say you want to go goaltenders up. I like goaltenders up.
Yes, well, I meant in terms of the team too. So we're starting with Northeast. So the Northeast team is the first team that will get together next week. They're opening up the week practicing at Keene State on Monday and then playing against Keene State on Tuesday. If we want to have a title for the game, guys, past meets present.
Yeah.
Like when you look back at the roster that Keene State's bringing to this game, obviously all the players that committed out of our league last year, but then there were actually a few players that were playing club hockey at Keene State, who's obviously launching their NCAA program, that have now made the NCAA team. So literally we could have a situation on the ice where obviously all 6 guys that are wearing this jersey are from the EHL, but all 6 guys that are on the ice for Keene State could be from the EHL too. So
Yeah, literally the first 5 numerically on the roster: Artur Jalavian, Connecticut Chiefs; Sean McBride, Railers;
Oh,
Bischetto from the old Spartans Rangers; Ryan Coscio from the Wizards; Jason Smith from the Lumberjacks; Shane Mazer; Peter Unger from the Apple Corps. Yeah, there's all sorts of good names on that
oh,
list.
you on a roll, Jeff. I wanted you to keep going.
Oh, want me to keep
That,
going? I
that
can
it
keep
was a
going.
great test of the memory there, right?
Want me to keep going? I can keep going.
Yeah.
Mike Collette from the Seahawks, we know him. Sean Hoffman from the Warriors. Let's see, Chase Carney, one of Jake's old faves. Jared
Captain
Martin,
Carney,
Marty
baby.
Party. Remember Marty
Party,
Party?
party.
Yep.
Kyle Gonzalez, Joe Fontaine from the Wizards. Marcus Chrysophitis, probably my most fun name I've ever had to say at a Frozen Finals.
Yep.
Love that kid.
Those players that I mentioned before that were playing club there that are now on the NCAA team, Tyler Atkins, who played for the Wolves, brother of Jake Atkins, who played for the Avalanche, played in this college series way back when we faced UMass Boston, and then he went to UMass Boston. Jay Justice was the other one. They also have guys that transferred to Keene State that played in the EHL. Like, this is insane. You get Corey Tumanis here, Declan House.
I was
Like,
saying Declan House is their captain.
This is literally just all EHL. This is the all EHL.
Sure is. Ben Skelton. Remember Bones? Good old Bones.
Bonesy.
Oh my God. Jake, if you had to pick one Keene State player to interview, who do you choose?
We didn't even mention Thor Handsome.
If the best interview we get is Sean Hoffman
Okay.
and that in that group, but I love Bonesy.
Yeah.
Bonesy. Wait,
So-
I thought Thor Hansen wasn't Thor Hansen. I heard something on social media. He was making a comeback. He was thinking of leaving college, going back to juniors.
Let's
going
go
back
back.
to
Yeah.
college.
No,
Three-
no.
We have to talk
Three
to Thor about
chances.
that.
3 chances to make that comeback, right?
All right.
Anyways,
Have to
let's
talk to him.
discuss the
Oh, boy.
Northeast team. By definition, Northeast, right? Teams in the North and East come together to face Keene State and the Wentworth Institute of Technology. The Northeast team last year played Rivier University and Southern New Hampshire University, picking up our third in league history victory in the college series. So the shoes are big for these guys to fill, right? Northeast team last year won a game. Let's start with the forwards. This is in no particular order. This is just, I plugged them in as we were going. East Coast Wizards, Max Tong. East Coast Wizards again, Daxton St. Hilaire. I'm sure I'm going to mess a name up here, Jake. Feel free to correct me.
I can take
Valley-
the next one if you don't mind.
Okay, you can take the next one.
Valley Junior Warriors, number 71, out of, I want to say Tewksbury, Massachusetts, Andrew Duvall.
Yeah, you can't mess up the town.
Doobie.
That's God's country, according to Sean Walsh. Boston Junior Terriers, Nathaniel McFarland. New England Wolves, Ryan Tien. East Coast Wizards, J.J. Alger. Boston Junior Eagles, Brady O'Connor. Boston Dukes, Alex Cameron. Express Hockey Club, Hudson Perry. Bridgewater Bandits, Liam Fecto. Boston Junior Eagles, Riley Van Son. New Hampshire Avalanche, Ryan O'Leary. Bridgewater Bandits, again, Ben Diaz. Vermont Lumberjacks, Brayson Bennett. Express Hockey Club, Eric Bjornsson. And that's the forward group. As you guys, probably heard, this is just like previous years. We take 15 forwards on each of the 3 rosters. So those are the 15 forwards with the Northeast team. I will say, not really tough names so far. Get to the defenseman. This is where I may struggle a little bit. Seahawks
Well,
Hockey
Canada,
Club.
here we go. Get this
Seahawks
one,
Hockey
Neil.
Club, Thomas Plumunden. Valley Junior Warriors, Thomas Dukas. Boston Dukes, Owen McGilvray. New Hampshire Avalanche, Grant Burback. Express Hockey Club, Dalton Roberto. Boston Junior Terriers, Cam Guakin. East Coast Wizards, identical twin brother, Cooper St. Hilaire. Vermont Lumberjacks, Sam Evans. And then for the goaltenders, we have Cam Reardon. Jeff, you know what? You can take the Seahawks one because you love saying his name.
Isaac.
The last
Just
name.
Isaac, right? Isn't that what we went? I thought we said this last week. We're just going to call him Isaac now.
He's not-
That's right. Oh, good point, Jeff. Thank you. I forgot about that. It's Isaac. Isaac from the
This was a
Seahawks.
test. I passed. Whee!
Salzaugi, I think, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Boston
Salzaugi.
Dukes, Brendan Nee. So you got 26 guys here, guys that are playing. Obviously, Keene State on Tuesday, Wentworth on Wednesday. A bunch of these names jump out. But
Yeah.
who are you most excited to see play in a college game next week for the Northeast team?
I mean, Cam Reardon is one that kind of pops out to me, right?
I
Guy
agree,
we've
Jim. I
talked
agree.
about a lot this EHL season so far as being a workhorse, and I'd love to see how he matches up against these college guys. Can
Yeah.
he, still be able to? I mean, he's not going to play all the minutes, right? We've talked about how he's a workhorse and plays. He's not going to play every period, but yeah, I'm really excited to see what he looks like against the college guys.
I'll go with a couple. I watched Nate McFarland today for the Terriers. He had an awesome game. That guy plays hard, so I'm excited to see what he can do the college series. And then we talk about guys like who have the physical maturity of a college hockey player. Riley Van Son stands out on this list. I mean, he's an absolute monster. So
Yep.
I mean, he'll fit in that regard for sure. So I'm excited to see what he can do after he's had a hot start to the year. And then a little bit of a homer pick. Hudson Perry, I think, is probably one of the most complete players in the league. So I'll go with Huddy too.
Yeah.
Thomas
That was
Momondon too, I
that,
noticed worked a heck of a lot in the off season. I kept seeing his workout videos. He's another one too. He's a huge defenseman.
do you
Uh,
follow each other?
yeah, I think I follow him on Instagram. Either that or he works out with someone else I follow on Instagram because I kept seeing his story pop up and he was just living in the gym.
Yeah.
But yeah, can't teach size. Riley
No,
Van
no,
Son,
you can't
Momondon
teach
have it.
size. There's a number. Majority of the players obviously 04. A handful of 05s. Youngest player Ben Diaz in 06. If I had to pick some, since Jake already named six guys right there,
It was three.
Watch the whole team.
watching Max Tong shoot the puck so far this season has really jumped out to me. Feels like he has a college shot, which we need that in these games, right? I think we've learned as the college series has gone on, in order to score goals in the college series, you got to score college goals. You got to be able to shoot and put the puck in the net, and he's got a shot that can do it for us. So, like I said, this is a team last season that lost to Rivier University, beat Southern New Hampshire. The only person that was on this Northeast team last year that's on it again is Cam Reardon. So as Jeff pointed out, can it translate over for a second year for him? I don't remember which period he played in that Southern New Hampshire game, but I know he got one of the three periods in that victory. The game on Tuesday against Keene State is obviously at their rink right there on campus. That's a 5 p.m. puck drop on Tuesday the 22nd. And then on Wednesday, Wentworth plays at a rink in Everett. Rink is not on campus. That game is at 6 p.m. So excited for the Northeast team that's led by Cody Gonyu from the Boston Junior Terriers, Corey Filiti from the East Coast Wizards, and I think everyone's favorite, right? Seth Gustin from the Morant Lumberjacks. And he's told me he has the gray suit ready.
He's so excited. I saw him a couple of days ago in Vermont. He is pumped for this opportunity. He was talking about it a lot. He's pumped for his guys. And side note, we both ordered rigatoni bolognese that night.
Hey, other side note regarding Seth Gustin. Have we talked about how Jack Lowry has grown his hair out and Seth cut his hair?
Dude, that's like reverse.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Jack came up to me at the showcase, Jefferson, and I was like, for 2 seconds, I blanked out and I was like, oh my God, it's Jack. His hair is like, he's got the flow like
Yeah.
you did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good lettuce. Good boy,
Yeah.
Jack. Just had to bring that up since we're talking about two of our favorites
Yes.
there. Seth and Jack.
So the schedule next week kind of all overlaps with each other. As I mentioned before, Northeast practices Monday, plays Tuesday, plays Wednesday. As for the Mid-Atlantic team, they practice Tuesday, play Wednesday, play Thursday. So those matchups for that team this season, last year, I guess it goes without saying, if you look at our footprint, the North and East divisions are a little bit closer to each other than the Central and South divisions. And last season, the Mid-Atlantic team played more of, we'll call, South-based teams. When we had Stevenson University in game 1 and then Lebanon Valley College in game 2. For this season, they face off against Johnson and Wales and Post University, so more central-based teams, if you will. So without further ado, though, I'm going to try and get through these names. And I know there's a name that I'm going to mess up, and I'm going to lean on Jake for this one. But starting with the forwards.
I see a couple of them.
Thanks. From the New York Apple Corps, Tyler Goebel. From the Bears, Phil Abe. Providence Capitals, Daniel Kroon. HCRI, Mike Bianco. Connecticut Nor'easter, Gavin Brandon. Philadelphia Hockey Club, Nick Van Son. Also from the Nor'easter, Micaiah Bascom. Rough Riders, Stepan Sidorkin. From the Little Flyers, Dominic Passeri. New Jersey 87s, Jason Twindo. HC Rhode Island, Austin Haldane. Fresh off 12 points in 2 games for the Pennsylvania Huntsmen, Ryan Arendes. Also from the Huntsmen, John Manzi. 87s, Aiden Lasky. And Little Flyers, Christian Kinsler. You know what, guys? It's actually just like the Northeast team. I'm not struggling with the forwards. It's the D that I know I'm going to have issues with. Let's start with, I think he's 6'7" and a 2007.
He's big.
Yeah,
he's not small.
No, not small. Not my height. That's
smaller than us, I think.
I didn't get the Body Capitals games at the showcase. I missed this kid.
Rodion Truskin. New York Apple Corps, Paulus Leonards Pagel. New Jersey 87s, Sergei Sherbakov. HC Rhode Island, Ryan Drust. Connecticut Rough Riders, George Sandercox. New Jersey Bears, Casey Sturm. HCRI, Kyler Sun. And Pennsylvania Huntsman, Tucker Miller. In goal, Nor'easter, Jason Larico. Philadelphia Hockey Club, Cross Sherman. And Providence Capitals, Nick Hansen. Just like the Northeast team, guys, with Cam Reardon, Cross Sherman back with the Mid-Atlantic team. He played, I remember it was definitely the first period against Stevenson last year.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was an onslaught in the first period.
Yeah.
And then we finally got our legs underneath us, and then we had a moment that Jake will never forget when we scored a goal on our own net, and I walked out of the building mid-conversation.
It was beyond rude. I couldn't believe it.
Beyond rude. Rude and it's beyond rude. That was beyond.
Yeah, rude. So that was very rude. I can never go back and fix that. That was tough. But for me, obviously, I just mentioned Sherman back in this series again. So he brings that experience. I saw Truskin really live in person for the first time in that overtime game with the Wizards, and he just the size just catches your attention the second he's on the ice, and the way that he skates is very smooth, and he's got to go use that size next week. So I'm excited to watch him play for this team. I should also mention John Manzi also returning. He played for this team.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
John Manzi, love that.
I'm going to the Huntsman. I'm going to go with the player to watch, Ryan Arendes, a kid that's been in the EHL for a few years, right? He was in the Premier. He put up 67 points in the Premier back in 22-23, 33 goals, 34 assists. Also had a lot of PIMs that year, 112. We kind of like the PIMs, just saying.
A bite to his game for sure.
He does, right? Not the biggest of guys, 5'10", 170, but last year he didn't, as far as going from the Premier to the EHL, he played in almost every game, 45 games, had 9 goals, 5 assists. Already has 9 goals. You guys just mentioned, or Neil, you just mentioned 6 and 6 last week. So interested to see with his playing style, and now that he's in his 3rd year with us in the EHL, and seems like he's really starting to click offensively, how he looks with the college size and speed.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I mean, since Neil criticized me for picking a couple last time,
you can pick a couple. I picked 2 just
the
now.
Exact same thing this time. I'll go a personal favorite already developing this year from a personal favorite team this year. Go Austin Haldane from Hockey Club Rhode Island. I love his game. Pretty relentless hockey player. I love what he does out there. Micaiah Bascom. I mean, that's the guy who's taken a big step from his first year in the league to his second. He's relied on as pretty much the top guy for the Nor'easter alongside Gavin Brandon. He'll be alongside Gavin Brandon for this, so that should be exciting. And I'll stick with the CT Nor'easter and go to my man J-Lo. Not known for his singing, but he's known for his stop pucks. He's a champion at the EHL.
Jason Larico, for those that don't know.
And Jason Larico, thank you for providing a little structure to my rambling. He's an awesome kid. Played P, and I think a really cool thing that we've seen with the expansion of the college series is that you get to see more guys who play EHL Premier games in this event.
Yeah.
Right.
You look at him, you look at Tyler Goebel,
Oh yeah.
Ryan
Yeah.
Arendes, also guys that have worked their way up from the EHLP
Yes,
to
sir.
the EHL, and then with the benefit of playing in this college series, we'll move on to NCAA hockey. So as I mentioned before, the Mid Atlantic team uh, practices on Tuesday, plays on Wednesday and Thursday. The game on Wednesday against Johnson and Wales is at 5 p.m. and that's at Lynch Arena in Pawtucket. That's pretty close to home for you, Jeff.
It is.
So
It
yes,
is.
they used to play in Attleboro, but they're playing at Lynch Arena this season. That's at 5 p.m. on Wednesday, and then a little bit later. It actually works out great for us, Jake. I'll get into that in a second. 8 p.m. puck drop with post on Thursday, the 24th. So, as I mentioned before, Northeast plays or practices Monday, plays Tuesday, Wednesday. Mid Atlantic practices Tuesday, plays Wednesday, Thursday. And also happening on Thursday. Oh, sorry, I gotta mention the coaches. I'd be remiss not to mention the coaches. They would call me out for that one. The
Yep.
coaching staff for the Mid Atlantic team includes Greg Heffernan from the Nor'easter, James Mello from HCRI, Eric Projan from the Huntsman, and Adam Bartholomew from the Philadelphia Hockey Club.
Yeah,
So,
I'm getting some FOMO there, man. That's tough, dude.
A lot of
Jamie's got their own
laughs.
broadcast. I can't even go up to Pawtucket and call a game. They got their own thing going on.
Yeah,
So.
a lot of
Trojan
laughs
might-
from this group.
Trojan
Um,
might
oh,
be
yeah.
the best time of any
Yeah,
coach.
they did not realize the coaches that they were getting their own hotel room each. So Eric Projan then asked me who he'd be rooming with. So we got off to talking. I think a great part about our coaches is they can talk and they can sell, right? They're great recruiters in that regard, right?
Yep.
Imagine a hotel room with Greg Heffernan and Adam Bartholomew.
Uh, two interesting personalities right there. Don't forget
No,
Olivia
but the
Spriggs and
bigger
Keaton
point is
Sterling
like
on it, too.
they are tremendous talkers. What's the one of the Hefferisms is about
Yeah.
making my ears bleed.
Oh, is it?
Yes, he said it to me once. Oh, I can't remember it right now.
Yeah.
I'm kicking
We
myself.
have to start taking notes. We have to just. It's got to be like a proverbs, like the heiferism of the week. Like you just have these daily affirmations. You wake up in the morning, you say them. We start the day with a little hef in our hearts.
Yes.
Laugh in our hearts.
Oh man, we'll wrap up the college series with the main All-Star team. I'll mention the coaches first. Chris Sorella from the Avalanche, Nick Coda from the Express, Adam Hooley from the 87s, Bill Zanaboni from the Seahawks, and then Greg Pickens, as you guys know, joining from HCRI. He's actually I should have gone back and said this. Dante Massaro from the Terriers is actually joining in a similar role for that Northeast team. So plenty of staff getting the experience as well. On the day that Thursday when the Mid Atlantic team is playing post, that's the day the main All-Star team will be meeting up for practice at Brockport, which I know Jake's been able to go the last 2 seasons. Jeff, if there's ever a time that we can take a 6-hour ride to Western New York, it's a really cool rink.
Yeah.
Like you can just kind of feel that that SUNYAC type energy. I know they're not in the SUNYAC anymore, but that D3, like, wow, this place fills up on a Friday night when you walk in for the first time. And we're playing
It's a bar.
we're playing on Friday night this year.
Yeah, I like that.
Which Coach Dickinson always talks about, you should see this place on Friday or Saturday night. And we're playing them on that Friday night at 7:00 this year, and it will be rowdy.
Love that. Yeah,
So
I might have to clear my schedule maybe next year. Come up for that Brockport game. Because I've heard great things. Dom Cherko still comes back and tells us how amazing it is up there, the vibes, and just I love nothing more than a good rowdy college barn. I get to work in a few of them myself. So
well, it works out great for us, Jeff, that the practice for that team is at 5:00 on Thursday, the 24th. We'll have a dinner with the team afterwards. Everyone will get checked into the hotel, and then we'll probably hang out and watch the Mid Atlantic team play at 8:00.
beautiful.
I gotta remember the HDMI cord though. So one thing I gotta remember for the TV.
Yeah, or else you're all huddling across the laptop looking a lot smaller screen.
I'll bring a backup. I'm not going to travel without the old Xbox. I think we know that.
Oh,
There you go,
man,
Jake.
he never leaves
Just
that
chilling.
behind. So let's go over the forwards first for the main All-Star team. Start with the leading scorer in the league from the New Jersey Bears, Owen
Yeah,
House.
easy pick. Huh?
newly acquired on the Nor'easter, former Apple Core and Wizard Robbie Nolan. Providence
Oh,
Capitals, Declan Kelly. Seahawks Hockey Club, Corey Cashel. Philadelphia Hockey Club, Connor Mulvally. Back-to-back Avalanche here. You got Jake Hines and Louis Tremblay. Express Hockey Club, Ville Bodine. Valley Junior Warriors, Wake Purdy. New Jersey Bears, Chris Bankovitz. Pennsylvania Huntsman, Xavier Tremblay. Boston Junior Terriers, Kenny Thurston. Vermont Lumberjacks, Jackson Duquette. New England Wolves, Brendan Fields. And the East Coast Wizards, Joey Allen. That wraps up the forwards for the Maine All-Star team. Defensemen. This has been the trend for all three teams, guys. Have you noticed this? The forward names are easier than the defenseman names.
yeah.
Yeah.
Here you go. Starting off with Nor'easter.
Well, starting off,
no, Ryan Dan
well,
first.
I should say that's more of a forward name, right? Ryan Dan, and then Nor'easter, Cal Skilbeck, Philadelphia Little Flyers, Cyril Jabusik, New Jersey 87s, Tyler Branish, Connecticut Rough Riders, Rufus Gray, New England Wolves, Merrick Herta, New Jersey Bears, Michael Bankovitz, Boston
Both the
Junior
twins
Eagles,
going.
Brady Clark, and then the goaltending trio of Alex Koenig, Lorenz Hoffer, and Ryan Rhodes. We'll let Jeff kick off the main team because Jake, you kind of started the first one. I started the second one. Who you excited to see?
Why not start with my fantasy forward of the month, Chris Bankovitz? How about both Bankovitz brothers? No, honestly,
There you go.
Again, another as a twin, love the twin power. I think that was last year though, Jake, that you interviewed both of them. I think I actually filmed that interview.
Yeah, you filmed that one
right? When they were on the Apple Core.
Yeah, R.I.P. Newington, forever in our
Good
hearts.
guys. Yeah, good guys. And I
Right
don't know, I just got to we got to know them a little bit. I really like their personality, love their game on the ice,
Yeah,
both
they're awesome. They're
players.
awesome kids. You're 100% right.
So I think the Bankovitz brothers have to go to the top for me. And then Lorenz Hoffer too. I was very impressed. I got to see him twice during the showcase weekend for the Bridgewater Bandits, their goaltender. Really interested to see him. Big, strong, confident goaltender. I think he will be perfect for the Maine All-Stars to go against the college team. So yeah, there's a few names for you.
Okay. Jay, you go.
So just a quick note on Lorenz Hofa. Drev said he's very excited to see this guy in the college series. He thinks he's very, very legit. Talked to Drev yesterday. I'm gonna go. I'll go back. Declan Kelly. Declan Kelly. I think this guy. He was good last year. I don't know if he's good this year. He might be one of the nastiest forwards. He's great right now. Scared you there.
Pretty good call by that Mikey Basile guy. I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that was
his goal, his Michigan move.
Oh, what are the views at? Keep going, Jake, while I look this up.
Yeah, I love Declan Kelly. I'll go Jackson Duquette, just a personal favorite pick. Awesome kid. Never lost a board battle in his life. Absolute monster out there. Pound for pound, probably one of the strongest guys in the league. And then Neilio, you said it when we were talking about Max Tong. There's a guy with a college shot in this group, and it's Ville Bowden. If he gets a shot away, there's a good chance it's going in on any goaltender that we play. So yeah, those are my three.
Okay, I like it. The views on that video are now 25,000 on Instagram. So that's pretty special.
You haven't seen it, go watch it.
Yeah, not mentioned yet. We've touched on returning All-Stars. Ryan Dan played for this team last year. Scored 2 goals. The second one still, I can remember it in my head still. We're shorthanded. We're trying to tie the game, and it's just a crazy rush by I think it was Mike Caparco ended up on Ryan Dan's stick in the slot to tie the game. Should have won the game. We'll talk about that in a different episode. I'm excited to see Tyler Branish, obviously brother of TJ Branish, who's at Franklin Pierce now. Actually came by the showcase when we were in Worcester a couple weeks ago. Excited to see him play. Really, this whole defensive core. There you go, Jake. I'm gonna pick up more than one guy, the whole D-core, because I think we got a ton of size that we're bringing with us to New York this season. I think we've learned from the years past that you got to have size when you're facing a team like Brockport who can march out. Let's toss some EHL names out there, Jeff. Remember Josh Higgins? He's at Brockport. Mitch Haight is now at Brockport in his grad year. Remember,
Yep.
we thought that we were going to avoid facing Mitch Haight because he graduated from Elmira. He was like, "Nope, I'm going to go to Brockport for one more year and face you there." So,
Yeah, I heard that's
uh,
why he came back. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna stay one more year, see my old pals in the EHL." Friggin'
I
love the
honestly
kid, he's a
think that's
blast.
why Chance Gorman played one more season just for this game, which is an
Oh,
exhibition,
he was one
doesn't
of the
count
best
towards his
interviews we
stats.
had last year. He was such a
Yes,
good interview.
yes.
I was just
So,
saying that to Michael Grace in Worcester. Oh, and talk
uh,
about size, Merrick Herta, he
oh,
is a
thank you. I was
large
just gonna
man.
say, I'm
Oh,
excited to see him play all six
yeah.
foot five of him. So,
Yep.
we were actually doing the rooming list the other night, Jeff, and I was talking with Jake, and we almost did Louis Tremblay in the same hotel room as Xavier Tremblay. We almost did it, but we thought
Yes.
that may confuse people, which we
Yes.
did have some
We
big confusion
had some
last year.
trouble last year. Yeah.
I don't know
I
if you've
mean,
ever heard this story, but we had a few changes because of injury, and
mhm,
we ended up with an extra room.
mhm.
And the long story short, when Jake walked into the room, he got one of the extra rooms. So his TV said "Welcome, Greg" when he walked in.
So
Um,
Greg happened.
and then I
Big
think the
happening,
best
nice to
way
see
of
you.
explaining what happened was somebody got locked out of their room, tried to get back into the room, gave the wrong room number, and it just created like a cluster.
It was a landslide
Oh,
from there on out.
Like it was like one of those where like we were going down and like we could not get off. Like we were just the track was going and we couldn't figure out how to get to the stop. So
front
we're
desk
going
was
to
full
avoid
on. The
that
kids
this
like,
year.
"Hey, where am I going?" They're like, "Okay, this Eastern Hockey League. Whoa, what are we doing here?" There's like 20 kids at the front desk right now. What's going on?
Yes.
Hey, maybe
But
the
hey,
Tremblays will do like they'll check out their like family tree and see if they're like long lost related.
well, maybe that's some sort of
Brother.
interview that Jake can do, a tremblay sandwich. We
Ooh,
talked
Okay,
about
we
ice cream
did. Yeah,
sandwiches.
yeah. We've done
So
a Banco sandwich before, right? I did a Saint Hilaire sandwich at the last showcase.
yeah,
I've
yeah,
been
yeah.
part of a couple of Basile sandwiches for Frozen Final pre-games.
Yeah.
Those are delicious and nutritious. Just saying.
But I love the way that the schedule falls this year, guys, where we have 6 games in 5 days with
Ooh.
one game Tuesday, 2 games Wednesday, then a game apiece Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There are some EHL games going on throughout the week as well. So what I like about that is the teams that are playing kind of looked at it as a chance. Could we potentially be missing an all-star or two? Yes, but it gives some more players, the chances in those games, right? For the teams that have 5 total all-stars between the main team and the regional team, maybe somebody else gets a little extra power play time or something like that. But obviously, just excited for the college series to be back for another year. I think we've found the perfect kind of structure, if you will, with having the 3 teams and 2 games apiece for the regional teams plus the main team. And what's funny is I mentioned this before. Like I was talking with college coaches at the showcase, guys, and they were locking themselves in for next year's college series. Like
Love it.
it's cool when you can do it in person like that.
More good expansion, folks.
Yes, the right expansion.
Hmm.
So, but let's break down before we get to fantasy. We touched on the college series. Let's do a quick recap of where things are at in the league since we talked last week, guys. Um, we'll start from the South.
Okay.
The Bears are off to the same exact start in a way they got off to last year.
So is that going to be a 2-team race now, boys? We're going to have Bears Huntsman all year? I don't know. Philly Hockey
Maybe,
Club and Seven's Flyers are just like,
maybe. I mean, we're
That's great.
recording this obviously early this week, and maybe I'm favoring my what to watch for too early. But the Bears do face the Huntsmen tomorrow, Wednesday the 16th, the day that we're
Mm.
dropping this podcast. And for that Bears record, 8-0-1, the only blemish is that opening day, where they actually had the lead and they coughed it up in a shootout loss to the Huntsmen. So something to kind of keep an eye on there. In the Central Division, not much has changed, and when you compare back to last week, you still have the two Rhode Island, Jeff's home state, leading the way, 13 points apiece between
Go
the
Toby James and the
Capitals
gang.
and
Woo.
Rhode Island. Jake, you just called a game. You're still at Cadillac Ice Arena. I almost called it Rodman there for a second. That's just the habit.
I think I did
Um,
that in the showcase too.
So when the Express lose this season, it's only in a shootout. That's what we're going with.
That's the rule. That's
Okay.
the rule. Yeah.
That's the rule.
Well, I
Coach
think the
Over with that,
craziest
he's like, we're
part.
gonna lose. We have to get to a shootout. That's it. No regulation. Nothing.
Well, and they were the last team to still be. I guess sorry, Avalanche are still there. They were the second to last team to still be in single digits for the goals against. They had 6 goals against in 6
Yeah.
games going into today. Is the East Division? You just called another game, Jake. Is the East Division just this tight?
It was awesome, man. I mean, that was a game with a lot of give and take. It was Terriers versus Express, and they had 3 1-goal games last year. I mean, the Terriers were the 1-goal game kings. I think they had 26 1-goal games last year, which is staggering. So I mean, I think they're the best reflection of this East Division. They're kind of caught in the middle of it right now. The Eagles are 500. There's going to be, it's going to happen all season long. And I mean, the Wizards are a team that have kind of run away so far, but they've had a couple of tough times defending leads lately. They gave up a 4-1 lead to the Warriors today, and they ended up winning in overtime. 2-0 lead to the Terriers. They lost that one 3-2. So I think it's going to get really tight in that division. And then once again, the Bandits are much better than last year. I mean, Coach Trev said he's much happier than he was around this time last year.
Yeah, for sure. Wrap it up in the North Division. We've touched on what feels like a crash course towards Wolves, Avalanche, and the EHLP. We may have the same thing in the EHL, guys, the way that these two teams are going right now. Wolves fresh off a home-and-home sweep of the Dukes. Avalanche took care of business in their games this past week. So both teams rolling right now at the top of the North Division of the EHL, as well as the EHLP. Probably the best statement from last weekend is what the Wolves did in Adirondack, guys. Obviously when teams win, there's a trend that you can watch out for. Like the Wolves, I always know they give out the fireman jacket to the player of the game. And then obviously there's a tweet sent. I think a lot of teams have like a helmet or something like that. I know the Rough Riders have one, the Wizards have one. When the Wolves tweeted out on Saturday that they had won and the score said 9-2, I was like, well, did I preview the wrong series? But then on Sunday, a closer game, 7-6, with the Wolves scoring the game winner with 10 seconds left. So, I mean, again, 16 goals in 2 games. Like, they showed offensively, why they are leading the way in the EHLP with 53 goals in 8 games. That's a frantic pace.
Cam Plum, star of the week, too.
Is that Zach Makuza guy?
Oh, yeah. I'm seeing him Friday. Reunited. It feels so good up in Laconia.
Big hugs for you, Tim. Big hugs.
They've won 8 straight. The Avalanche are on a 7-game point streak with 6 wins and a shootout loss in there. Even like Valley, 5-1, guys. It's that's the greatest third place team we've ever seen. I already have coaches in this division lobbying for a second regional finals bid or frozen finals bid. They're talking about how good the North Division is so far. I've had 2 coaches say that to me. So not going to name names. We'll leave that one anonymous. But the division
anonymous. Oh, and even the Thunder and Lumberjacks are great too. Yeah, yes. And I think this kind of looks like the way the Boston division is what we used to call it.
Yes, last year. Yep.
Yeah, the way the Boston division was last year, Neil Jake. I think that's the this year for sure.
Agreed,
for sure. When
teams that can score.
And with that, the East Division now, Providence Capitals at the top, just like they are in the EHL. And then a lot of teams that have shown some good signs and some bad signs so far. Seahawks, Express kind of ride the ups and the downs. We just named an Express as the star of the week.
Captain Coop.
Gross Guth, right?
Gross Guth, yeah.
Okay.
And he's absolutely gross.
I love what I do is the stat changes for you, Jake, because he was literally a part of every single goal.
Yes, that's Cooper Gross Guth for you. His C came off his jersey, so he was just Ooper yesterday, but he's still out of
I love when that happens.
Oh, man. And then out in front of the South Division, of course, the New Jersey 87s. We did not use the nickname last week, guys, that Justin gave us.
Oh,
regarding the goaltender.
Oh,
oh, that's right.
Patrick, his name is Patrick McGillicuddy, but Justin said you got to call him Patrick. What do you say, McGillicuddy?
Miguel
Go
Shetty.
Shuddy.
Yeah, because he's
Yeah.
5-0 with a .62,
Ooh,
a 969, and 4 shutouts.
damn. And he's
M-
6'5",
McGillicuddy.
222 pounds. He's an 06.
Yeah, you're not. Like, wow.
Wow.
In Mass too. Shout out Trevor Blackburn.
Yes.
Yeah, friggin'
For
wow.
that interview, Jake did it on the ice, not standing on a chair like he did with Ryan Hacker from the Bears.
That was fun. Yeah.
So, but still cool. So
Very.
that wraps up the EHLP. Let's jump now into fantasy.
Now it's time for the E-Show Fantasy Challenge. Follow along on the EHL app. Available now for free on both Apple iOS and Android.
And as we do every week with fantasy, we start with our fantasy, which this week we'll start with our Yahoo Fantasy Hockey League guys.
Yeah, I want to know for the boys.
Yeah,
want
you
to know
want
for
to know,
the
but I'm the
boys.
better one to know. Jake, I'm the better one to know. I put up 136 points. I have the most in the league.
Can I confess something?
Okay.
I didn't look at the lineup once the whole week.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Did Mikey, though?
So
Your
Mikey-
coach
Yeah,
you
Mikey.
DMing?
Listen, the way I see it, I'm the GM. Mikey is the head coach. I to this organization. I'm the mastermind, right? I'm Billy Bean. He can be Art Howe. Yeah, that's how I see it.
Only 2 moves all season so far for the 2 minutes for hooking.
Yeah, of course, Justin's got his 14 moves so far. Justin's roommate Ryan's got
Sheesh.
10 moves so far. Trevor sliding right into that Jim McCabe
Ooh,
spot. Just
Trevor's
right,
terrific team.
just right in there. 12th
so
place, 1 move. It's still called Trevor's terrific team. That's literally an auto-generated name from Yahoo. Like,
Oh,
come
come
on,
on.
Trevor, come up with a name.
Yeah, Trevor's terrific team is who I'm playing this week. I'm projected to beat 157 to 93. He
Oh,
did not
where
get
are
in
you?
his edits in time.
Oh, did he
Uh,
leave players that aren't playing?
Yeah, he's got
Oh
Barkov,
my
Joseph
God.
Woll,
Oh
and
my
Vince Dunn.
God. His
'Cause
D
yesterday-
was -4 last night.
That's a
Well,
lot.
Yeah, I
I
hate
love
to see when they
Marquette
go
Lane
negative.
Hudson. Sorry, Lane.
That's our Yahoo Fantasy Hockey League right now. So for Trevor, if it's not working out, like we say for everyone every week, which based off the start that he's under, or off to, I should say, in fantasy hockey, he can always pivot to DraftKings.
That he can, Neil. That he can. And that would be TD Tutty, taking it to the house, whatever you call a touchdown. They matter more. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Can also do NHL in there, but we're still pushing the NFL because it's deep in the NFL season. So are you ready to place your first NFL bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score a touchdown. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5, and you get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Do you have a gambling problem? If so, you can call 1-800-GAMBLER in New York, call 877-8-HOPENY, or you can text HOPENY. That would be 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. You can avoid that in Ontario. Bonus bets do expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball. NFL Plus Premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus Premium terms at nfl.com/terms. Do we really have to look at these standings right now? Because I really don't want to look at them. I looked at them earlier and they're not great.
I'm in the top 10 now. Look at
Yeah,
me.
you and
No,
Neil
I
both are.
haven't. So I haven't
Neil both are.
updated today yet. We had the 5 games that took place today. I haven't plugged in those games yet, but I love the EHLP battle at the top, guys.
Yeah.
You got Christopher Richard from the Wolves taking on Derek Lewis from the Express, and they both picked themselves.
Delu's 3-point game is not up there from yesterday. He had 6 points before last game.
Okay, so I haven't done yesterday and today yet, right?
Okay,
So-
get on it. My boy is wondering right now.
Was he actually asking about it?
Watch the interview, dude. I asked him about fantasy, bro.
Oh my! Listen, I've had a busy day, Jake.
It's
I'm
not, you're
sorry.
never too busy to watch Express Hockey Club content, all right?
I watched your game.
I guiltily haven't watched it yet either, Jake, so I'll watch it after we're done.
Yeah, it was with him and Captain Coop. Oop.
We got you. We'll get there.
To keep highlighting some of the players that have had great months so far, We mentioned before, and we'll mention it again. Zach Spakuza continues to just dominate this opening month of fantasy. We mentioned Cooper Gruskuth from the Express EHLP off to a great start so far. Robbie Nolan touched on him earlier, 20 fantasy points so far. So plenty of players that have got off to great starts. It doesn't feel like half the month is already gone. We're already halfway through October. So halfway closer to crowning our first champion, if you will, and advancing that person to the round of champions. Jeff, you got time left. It just has to go. The next 14 days has to go a lot better.
Time to what? Slip down even further? Is that
Wow.
what
Listen,
Thanks,
look who's
Jake.
below
Appreciate
Jeff.
ya.
Mikey, right
Mike
below.
Basile.
They
Look at
both
that.
have 26.6.
Yep, below me where he belongs.
Woof, woof, woof. As Nash
Oh.
Rabbit would say, woof, woof, woof. All done. Philip Kuba Jr., man, no points yet?
Listen, you should just get on the horn with Coach Torella and put a stat change in.
Right? I know. Chris was so good at that for years. Is he still doing that or is he not doing that?
How about number 18, Tom S? That is a mysterious person right there.
Yeah. We should have just put Tom Anonymous as the last
Old friend Ryan Croshaw is in there? Oh.
Three different teams. Like that's
Yeah.
interesting. I'm all about Tom S right now. We should do some digging.
We didn't. Did
we mention
look up-
Justin's in fourth, by the way, and with
Yeah.
Philip Kuba also as defenseman, but he's got Zach Spakuza and Elliot Cobb, so he's got
Yeah.
55.2. Zach Spakuza, 45 points.
And we need to
Yeah.
call out that currently the Seahawk coaching son battle between Vanek Zanaboni and Colin Richard is being won by Coach Zanaboni's son, Vanek. So
There's some separation there now.
there's
Vanek's
some
in
it's a little
26, Collins in
separation.
49th. He's down near me and Mike Basile country.
But here's the thing. Coach Richard's son went with the character picks and went for the Seahawks. Vanek Zanaboni went for the victory picks and sold his team out.
He's like, Owen House, talk to me. Casey Stern, talk to me. Isaac, you can get in there.
Yes. That is a great point, Jake. That is a great point. So again, I do have to add in.
That's the only kind of points I make.
Wow. Signed, Jake Basile, Director of Intelligence.
Correct. I do have to add in the Monday and Tuesday game still. I will get to that. It's not that easy.
Oh,
it takes some time.
Let me check the box score. Maybe Philip Kuba decided to get me some points. Maybe not.
Well, they didn't play, so they didn't. There's no points.
There we go. Kuba stays at 0. No
Yeah, tough to get points when you don't play.
Yeah.
Anyways, but that's the update for fantasy. We'll have a 2-week update when the podcast comes back, because obviously there's no podcast next week. But between now and then, there are still a number of games taking place outside of the college series. So let's circle a few of those with what to watch for.
And now here's what to watch for in the EHL and the EHLP.
I always look at the games that are coming up during this kind of stretch of the season where it's the first real break, but it's not like a break when you can go home and rest and relax, guys. Like that break comes at Thanksgiving for a lot of guys, and then obviously the Christmas holiday break. So it's funny, if you were a coach, would you want to play a game during this time, knowing that you may be missing a guy? I wouldn't mind it. I think it in a way could teach your team how to deal with some adversity. There's going to be injuries. There's going to be sickness or whatnot that goes around. Maybe you're going to be missing that player at some point. So I don't mind it. So I'm going to pick a game before college week to watch for, and then a game during college week. So first, before, I already said this, the day that we're dropping this podcast is Wednesday the 16th. I'm circling that Bears-Huntsman game. The only blemish that's on the Bears record so far was that opening day loss to the Huntsmen, and that was at home. So now they have a chance to get their revenge on the road at Power Play Rinks. So then if you fast forward from there into college week,
we're advancing the screen for those that can't see. Here we go.
What'd you say?
I said we're advancing the screen for those that cannot see.
I'm clicking the arrow as fast as I can.
Smash. I like Chase with Dad. Smash.
Oh, man. We'll get into that at a later date. Sunday, the 27th, the college series technically just ended, so maybe there's a little caveat to this, but Eagles traveling down the Nor'easter to face off in Connecticut. I mentioned this kind of earlier this season when the Eagles faced the Terriers and Nor'easter have those Maine colors. This is like a B. This is like a BC versus Maine for me. This one hits home for me, Jeff.
Yeah.
So I'm circling that one also. But turn it over to you guys for some EHL games to watch.
I think I've done this before, but I'm going to plug Jake again because, I just love Jake and his team's great to watch. The Express Hockey Club taking on the Avalanche, 12 o'clock. Jake will be on the call, I hope.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, you'll
think about it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, in all seriousness, though, Express, Avalanche, two wagon teams already off to great starts this year. I feel like that's a must-see television. I think kind of like you were saying too, Neil, though, as far as games that start tomorrow, Wizards Bandits, that's a great test for the Bandits. We said they've improved. Well, that's going to be a tough test going up against the Wizards. I think that's another great game to watch. And then after the college week, let's see what we got here. Express Wizards, again, Jake, but that'll be at Neil's old home, the Edge Sports Center.
I'll be there.
Oh, you will be there. Oh, there you go.
That's just busy right now.
Oh my God, this week is brutal.
Busy season. Apple Core, they gotta get themselves into the win category. They gotta play the Rough Riders on Monday the 28th. So yeah, there's all sorts of good games. So that's what I got.
Jake?
I'll echo my bearded brother over there, Jefferson, and go.
I'm your father.
Go Bandits Wizzies, but I'll double it up with a little Bandits Avalanche Friday. This is a gauntlet week for my boy Coach Drev. I'm all about Coach Drev this week. Great guy. So those are my picks for this week. And then if we're looking in the distance here, yeah, give me Avs, Valley Junior Warriors. They always kind of have some pretty cool games. Like Valley getting the better of them in the first meeting of the season behind some heroics from Big Ben and Net. So
yeah,
always excited for that matchup. It's always a pretty good game.
Yeah, for sure. To the EHLP, which does not take a break.
Guess mine. Guess mine, Neil.
Well, we're starting this week.
Guess mine, dude.
Warriors Avalanche?
No.
Doobie?
Come on.
His own squad?
No, oh my God, this is so easy. It's Wolves Lumberjacks.
I'll be there, baby.
Because he's going. This is going. Yeah. Man, I can't believe it. I'm sorry it took me that long, Jake.
Yeah, what the heck?
Not just my favorite, not just your favorite, but everybody's favorite EHLP captain, Zach Spakuza, and I will be in the same building. It'll be exciting.
They're playing 4 times this weekend. They play Friday, twice on Saturday, and Sunday. So those Zach Spakuza points could go like this.
Oh yeah, Christopher Richards winning October.
His betting odds right now are probably like a -150, like a strong favorite.
Yeah, so, I'll have to get a silver medal for Derek Lewis. I don't think
that's huge. That's huge for the Wolves too, because if the Wolves can win the majority of those, say they go 3-1, then they're now 11-1 in the North Division. Lumberjacks, that's also huge for them. If they reverse it, they go 3-1, then they make it a little tighter. They climb out of the bottom of that division. So
for sure. Also this weekend, you got Adirondack versus the 87s for a 2-game series up in Glens Falls. Keeping an eye on that series, that weekend set. And then I got to pick next weekend too, Jake. I don't know if the Wolves play again next week. Oh, they do play Adirondack, so you could go back-to-back weekends.
Am I that predictable?
No.
Hey, Marte.
But I'll stick with that same Sunday the 27th. I like that. Providence Capitals versus Express Hockey Club. Are you calling that game?
Yeah, dude. Fresh off like 2 hours of sleep, man.
Well, it's at 6:10.
Yeah, we're getting in at like 2?
We'll be back around 1 a.m., 2 a.m. You have all day Sunday to sleep. Are you a big napper?
No, dude. I don't. I'll sleep when I'm dead, bro. Like, so that's where I'm at right now.
Wow.
I'm sleeping up dead.
Well, there's plenty of action coming up, not just the college series, plenty of games in the EHL and EHLP. You won't hear from us again until, I guess, technically it's the final week of the month. Right, guys?
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that we're already, at the end of October. So by the time we're talking to you next on this EHL eShow podcast, it's going to be Halloween. It's going to be the end of October. It's going to be the time for us to crown, potentially, Christopher Richard as the fantasy challenge winner for October, and then get things set.
I'm making a huge comeback. We'll be announcing me.
Oh, listen, if you put on this 2-week comeback, we will talk about that the entire next episode.
Benko's going off. Kuba's waking up. Wiki's going to get all sorts of shutouts. I'm coming for you all.
Well, if you can't make it out to any of the College Series games or any of the EHL or EHLP games coming up, all of our league games are on Flow Hockey. Those College Series games will be streamed on each respective team's or school's athletic website. Jeff, hopefully we can get you out for a game next week. Yeah. Jake, I know how excited you are. I am as well. College week is always a huge week for our league, and the 78 players they get a chance to put this on. And all three teams have the same exact jersey this year, so it's going to look pretty cool. It's going to be pretty special, and hopefully we can add to that 3-win total next week, guys. I'm looking forward to it. Talk to you on the podcast in 2 weeks.
3LL, baby. 3LL.
Thanks for listening to the E-Show, presented by the Hockey Podcast Network. Learn more about us at easternhockeyleague.org and follow us on all of your favorite social media platforms. Also, be sure to subscribe and get notified when our next podcast episode is released.